Gains. I'm not ready to get you in here quite yet. Get these. We're gonna get started. Okay, I want to see you give me kisses.
Good luck, I love you.
You like any of this?
I'm good, I'm just drinking coffee.
Okay.
You're gonna be awesome.
Yay. I love you too. All right. Set. Okay, let's do it. Admit. Hello, hello out there. This is Captain Dax. Can you guys see and hear me okay? Feel free to type in the chat window or to have video on or off. Here, I'll put this in here. There you go. Let's see what other controls we have. Now, feel free to play around with the controls in the Zoom meeting. Some of you may be more familiar than others, but that chat feature is really nice because it allows for multiple people to contribute to the conversation, even when the lead presenter is, talking and doing their thing. Okay, so I see I have a few more here that we're going to admit. I see Kenyetta, Zachary, Jessica. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me okay? Feel free to open up that chat window and use that, or to have video on or off. Let me make sure I'm not muted too. That could be a thing. That might be it. Okay. And I see Zachary's connecting to audio. Now, part of the fun of these, again, is playing around with the controls, and it's got some neat options. I'm going to pause. Recording started. Okay, greetings again. All right, let's go back to that screen share again. So some fluency in these skills and flipping back and forth is useful. And in the Wednesday session, introductory session that I did, which I'll be dropping the link on the video at the same time I drop this one, I cover a little bit different things, and one of them is a concept called a walking deck, which is an interview technique, and it is the cheat code, for online interviews, especially over these types of platforms. And so if you're job hunting right now, then it's a good one to get into to build those professional development skills. And as I get started right now, and to make this one a little different, but to continue the professional development learning track, I want to practice something called an elevator speech, right? And these are typically 30 seconds to 1 minute long, where you're going to imagine standing up in front of a room at a networking group and introducing yourself. Okay, so we'll see how I do and if I can get it within that 30 seconds to 1 minute time frame. So hello, everybody. My name is Dax McDaniel. I like to go by my online brand name, Captain Dax. And I am the adjunct instructor for CIS212 Communicating in a Digital World. a little bit about myself. Me and my beautiful wife, Kayla, we got out of the Marine Corps about 1.5 years ago, almost 2 now, where we were living in North Carolina. As I was a captain in the Marine Corps, a company commander, and a communications officer, and spent 10 years in the IT field, first as enlisted and then as an officer. And so I had a wonderful experience with that. I did an internship with Microsoft last fall for 3 months as a veterans program, and that really paved the way for my introduction to Amazon, where I now serve as an IT manager for the new fulfillment center here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I have a team of 12 on my team right now, but it's 3 million square foot building and the largest one in the state, almost 2,000 employees, that work there, and they're all my team, so, and I encourage you to take strong leadership too. All right. Hey, so that's almost a minute. Last thing I want to get in there is educational background, because this is an education course. So I was raised military, actually born in South Dakota in Rapid City 40 years ago, and moved every 3 years growing up until we landed in Nebraska. And I went to high school just outside of Omaha at Bellevue West. And then I went to college in Moorhead, Minnesota, right next to Fargo, North Dakota, at a school called Concordia, where I studied philosophy and political science. And I just loved the philosophical study, and so I like to include some of that, even though I like talking tech and business, right? I'm trying to put a philosophical spin on it. Well, right after I got my undergraduate degree, I went to Bellevue University, where I got my MBA in finance and CIS. Yeah, and thank you, Zachary, Jessica, for posting that. Business analysis and management, computer science, software development. I've got backgrounds in both of those, and we'll try to customize this course to continue the development on those lines, as well as provide additional resources to be able to continue that study, including certification and study test prep, right? So, but it's extra. The required things in this course are just going to be the weekly course materials, the assignments that come up just about every week, discussion board posts every week, and then the journal entries. And those journal entries are nice points, because at the end of the semester, we put them all together, and it's worth like 75 points, which is a big amount, so it pays to get those in and get those easy points at the end too. So, but yeah, I got my MBA, and then I moved to Colorado for a couple of years, and then I started teaching at Bellevue University. Now, this was back in 2008, 2009. And I was like, there's got to be more to life, so I enlisted in the Marine Corps, and started that process. They sent me out to Okinawa for a few years, California, became an officer, was out in North Carolina, went to Afghanistan in the country of Georgia, and then, company commander of the largest company in the Marine Corps in North Carolina. And so it was a really successful and fulfilling experience. And I want to be able to pass on that experience in this class. So you'll see some of the videos that I put out there are like, oh, this is the way the military does IT. This is the way the civilian world does IT, right? And I'll share some of those experiences too. Okay, hey, so that's some of the educational background. To finish, I did kind of get my PhD, right, in psychology in the Marine Corps, because they were paying for that education. So you want to take advantage of that. And I spent 10 years of studying it, but I didn't finish my dissertation, which was on the subject of training transformational and authentic leadership in small groups, right, or in different size groups, really. And got past chapter 1 and into chapter 2, and then work balance has gotten in the way, right? Hey, so, and with that too, I want you to know I'm going to be super flexible this semester when it comes to grading, right? Because I know you're all professionals. You've got things that are going on too, families also. So with that, if you're going to have a busy week or weekend, shoot me a message or an email. Let me know ahead of time, and I'll waive the 10% late deduction. Right. So otherwise it's 10%, and that's whether it's a day or whether it's, a month later. And you can turn late assignments in all the way till the end of the course. Right. But, just good communication is an important skill that we're building in this communicating in a digital world class. Right. All right. Hey, so with that, I'll continue this, and we have some presentation, and here it is, right? So the agenda for this topic, this introductory course, is we're going to do the introductions, which I've kind of done and went long-winded on my elevator speech, right? Hey, so I'll have to work on that to kind of keep it concise. And what exactly do I want to present in a 30-second to a minute pitch? Right. And writing it down is an effective way to rehearse it and to kind of narrow it down on some of the extra fluff, or I get wordy sometimes, right? But week one, we covered course etiquette, or netiquette, and appropriate professional email etiquette. And it's different depending on your audience. But in that business setting, you accurately identified concise is often good, but it doesn't have to be straight to the point. You're still building relationships. There are people on the other end of those communications, right? So you do want to earn some trust with them too. And you got to see, hopefully, a little bit of an email campaign in the invitation that was sent and how easy it is to get that set up. And, although constant contact, right, the tool that I use to show that is a subscription base. They've got a free trial, so you can try it, but it is $9.99 a month, worth that much more compared to just putting all those email addresses in your Outlook and sending them. It may simplify things a little bit. And the nice thing is you can turn it off and on if you want to use an email campaign for images and make it look really cool too. Okay, so additionally, we're going to go through the topics each week this semester, how to get an A in this course. We're going to talk a little bit about week two, which we're into right now, digital communications, data communications, which is one of my favorite weeks, right? Because we're getting really into that IT, the jargon, the terminology, and it can be a lot, but don't worry, this is the most technically intense week of the semester. Although in a couple of weeks, we'll be building a real basic HTML page, and it'll have a step-by-step instructions and things like that too, but there's a lot of customization features when you're looking at that kind of front-end programming, like customer-facing programming, and it'll be a fun exercise. Okay, well, let's keep on going. And here we have the semester. So the online research for next week is comparing search engines and, like Google searches versus Yahoo searches. The assignment is we've got, a list of things that we want to search and see the different results that they have. And then, but you got to do it for all of them, not just for one, for each one on the list. And you'll see, well, wait a second, these shouldn't be different, but they are. And we'll learn things like how you can market yourself, whether your personal profile or your business profile, whatever, and get higher hit rates on those search engines. And then week four, like I said, HTML application. Week five is social media, which I'm really excited about LinkedIn because it's such a powerful business tool. And really the trick with LinkedIn, and we'll have some good resources, feel free to look ahead also, is completeness. There's a lot of different sections in your LinkedIn profile, and you want to make sure they're accurate and complete. And so that's a good way to do it. We'll also get on X, the old Twitter, and I know they've been going through a lot of changes, but it's the free service that we're going to do and send each other a tweet. So you all have probably had some hands-on familiarity with social media. And so we're going to look at it from some different angles and kind of fill out some of the learning on it. Week 6 is we put together a blog or a podcast, which is a great learning experience. It's so fun when people bring friends and family into the production of those. Week 7, my favorite, online branding, right? And that's where you get to do that self-reflection exercise is what is your brand about? Right. Obviously, the Captain Dax brand reflects my military history, also, leader of industry, hopefully, as, a captain of business. And with a name like Dax, you got to be in tech, right? Of course. So it kind of gets it, but one thing I do want you to include on your brand, whatever it is, and maybe it's a people person, maybe it's, it's so connected to family. Maybe it's loves animals. Whatever you're about, include quality, right? So everyone should have quality as a feature of their online brand. And you try to do that just by being present in the moment when you're talking with people by, giving 100% of your attention to what you do, whether that's learning or helping other people out, right? But hey, trick to life, right? You get what you put into it. So make it high quality life, right? Okay, so week 8, to continue on, we'll put together a video, which can be a little bit, stressful for some. And again, they're so fun when you bring friends and family into those. Week 10, we'll do another online meeting like this one, where it's online collaboration tools. And so we'll play around with some other features. Week 11, cybersecurity, one of my favorite weeks. And again, it's an IT focused week. I do want to give you a heads up. There are certification opportunities, free ones that are available to enhance the cybersecurity community and help train it, because every year those cyber attacks keep going up. Right. And so we need to be able to have smart, trained professionals, whether you're a cyber warrior and that's your full-time job, or whether you're a data analyst or a marketing professional or an operations manager. Right. Yeah. You want to have that cybersecurity awareness, because that's the most important factor when it comes to it. CIS212 is giving away free certified in cybersecurity certs, and they're pledged to train 1 million. So that's one opportunity. But week 12, we go into world communications, and just think the internet's only been around for a few decades, right? We're still learning and normalizing, how we can engage, maximize, synchronize, with people in other countries, right? Academia led the way and still leads the way. How can we do it in business? How can we do it in our personal lives too, right? So some fun topics. And I see that, Zachary, and I'll drop the link in it here too once we finish with the presentation. Okay, but we're going to get going to how to get an A in this class. And you're already doing it, right? Participate early, especially in those discussion board posts, because it's going to generate more discussion. Enjoy the learning experience. I'm telling you right now, hey, you're going to pass the class and get a good grade in the class, right? I can already tell, despite the balances and when nobody's perfect, so I get that too, but have fun with it. It's a transformative experience. And at the end of the course, you're going to be more effective at every part of your communication, and you're going to be more aware of yourself, and hopefully it helps you, with the discussions and feedback that you'll get, grow into more of your authentic selves, right? And who you can be to really be you. Okay, also do the work and do it early, right? Read the instructions and the grade feedback, and then ask questions. And you can do that by sending me an email, posting it in the weekly discussion board chats, or in the Ask Your Professor Anything chat space. And then use that feedback to improve, right? Like put your name on every assignment, or else you get 1 point off, right? Which is a minuscule amount, but at the same time, it's like, it's a learning opportunity. And branding gets into label everything that you do, right? Okay, hey, so we went through the slide deck, and that's really terrific, and I appreciate your time. I see it's 10:49 right now, so I want to show you a couple of things that I hit on from just last week, and we'll just take a couple of more minutes with that. But as I get the screen set up and go to the site that I want, do you guys have any other questions, or would you like to introduce yourselves or take a moment? Feel free to. Okay. And that's all right if you don't, or keep chatting in the chat box too, because that's good stuff. All right. And the first thing I'm going to do is go over to that cybersecurity cert. And can you guys see my screen okay? I'm pretty sure you can. If you type in ISCCC 1 million, right, that first hit you get is going to be that link. And I'll drop it in over here too. All right, now there is a caveat on this, is that they want you to be a member of their organization. ISC2 is the gold standard in cybersecurity, right? And so I took this certification last year, and it was the perfect fundamental cyber cert to get into, because you're going to be familiar with a lot of it. That fee is $50 annual maintenance fee, but they'll post other cyber good videos and learning content. And there are other tests that then you wouldn't have to pay another fee for to get in, like the CISSP, which is really the biggest, best cyber cert that you can get on a managerial level. Okay, but here's another one, and it's just a Google Sites page, but there's some good resources on it. And this is fun, right? If you guys want to build a page, whether a business or a personal one, and it's just a good way to get artsy craftsy, nothing too hard, drag and drop, uploading pictures and things. And they've got it set up where you can do drop downs, and it's kind of just like a resume on steroids a little bit. Goes through all work experience if you want, educational career, and then all these different kind of things. And then I get through just like some transformational, authentic leadership, stuff in there, because that's kind of what I'm branding myself, as. But this is that walking deck, which is that real powerful internet interview cheat code, that I go over in the other video in more depth. So I'm not going to hit it too much here. But there's also additional Bellevue presentations that I've done, my teaching philosophy, right? So it kind of gets into some fun things, but also on the top, if you go to that Captain Dax instructor page, right? And I'll drop the link to this website also here. And it's not perfect, it's constantly under construction, and I just need to keep up with it, right? And this forces me to, I better go and take a look at it, and see how it works. So intro videos, expectations from me and you, more intro videos, that are all a little bit different.
And welcome to CIS212.
See, and it gets right into it, so there's plenty of this videos out there, and a good way to save it and to have it, right? Like OneDrive, will do that. Bellevue University has a shared drive also that you can use, and or like YouTube, and their free video site hosting, so easy to use and share. This is the link to the Bellevue University, and they've got streaming courses and all these additional lib guides are what they're called, right? This is the one on cybersecurity. If you just click this button, it'll take you right over to the link, and I'm actually going to drop it here too. But if you want to ramp up your cyber, training, just spend 12 hours watching cyber videos, and they're really cultured, filtered out really well here. But week 2, and I post some of these in the discussion boards and announcements also, but go into some like IT infrastructure diagrams, how we express and communicate what a network looks like with routers and the traffic flowing, how services are provided with servers and applications, how we defend the network, how it communicates either with fiber, with Wi-Fi, satellite communications, right? Which I've spent the last 10-15 years doing, and it's such an exciting field because you're always doing different things. It's a high pressure thing sometimes because you're on call, and when the internet doesn't work, people get angry, but it's really rewarding because you get to be in all parts of the organization. It was hard to get into a little bit. The military helped me out with that a lot, but I hope to provide some of those resources and guidance if you're interested in a career in IT, to be able to help you get into it, like some of these references and resources. Get into different presentations, got the step-by-step guide for the HTML assignment, right? So there's a few different things out there that we can really learn and grow from. Okay, hey, so I've got 5 more minutes. I'm gonna stop. Well, I'm gonna show you one more thing, okay? So it's just one more training resource, Microsoft Virtual Training Days. Okay, so Microsoft has a lot of free training and a lot of free certifications. Oh, that's not it. Kerning Solution, Microsoft Virtual Training Days. And by going to this link, they will have their calendar of all the different training events they have. And it goes from like introductory services or Windows, right? 365 here, you can see it. Their cloud platform, Azure, right? Security, their AI platform, like Power Platform, right? And Dynamics 365, which is a lot of the applications and stuff for Word and Office. And so then you can come down and see that they'll have them September 26th and 7th, so in a couple of weeks. They've got it digitally transformed, and these are good. and they're typically only 1 to 2 hours. Like this one looks like 3 hours over 2 days. That's a little longer than most. They're typically 1 day, some of them are 2. But you take the virtual, you sign up for it and you attend, they'll send you a free voucher. And you can then, and they'll have like the PDF study guide, and then you can take the certification on it. And they're normally $100, $150. The kind of longer it is, or the more advanced, the more expensive it is. But a nice way to build up some certifications on your resume, so that then, you're going to have a more competitive opportunity in getting a job, in the IT field, because that is one thing that's really neat about the IT field, and somewhat challenging too, is it's a combination of things. Hands-on experience is valued probably the most, but then that educational experience is equivalent years. So if they're looking for 3 years experience in a field and you've gone to school for 2 out of those 3 years, right, you only need 1 other year, right? So you can combine those and find other ways to get creative on your resumes when you're putting experience, especially if you're trying 10 years, you're at 8. Well, didn't you do that project in high school? Didn't your mom or dad or friend show you something in middle school? Can't you go back just a little further, right? And then you justify it, and it may help you. It may be that thing you need to get into the door. All right. Hey, so with that, I guess kind of ethical, just touching on the gray line, I'll stop the recording, and then I'll post this too. So again,